What is up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of The Long Dark with me, Splattercat. In the previous episode, we tested out the forge, we played around with it, we made some arrowheads. We don't really have the thing to make the arrow shafts just yet, but someday we will have the shaft that's required so we can be a bad mother shut your mouth. I'm gonna go harvest this wolf over here. We're actually really low on food, and I didn't realize how low on food we were until I ate it all. That's usually the best indicator that you might be low on food is when there's none left. So we need to go for a hunt. We need to kill. We need to take flesh. We need to maim, destroy, and claim. We do have some food left at the lighthouse over there. I would actually suggest we should probably harvest this wolf. After harvesting the wolf, we should head to the lighthouse. We should gather everything up. I still haven't decided exactly where I'm going to stay. It's only 3 kilograms. Okay, that's fine. We'll use the hatchet on it since that's faster. I will take the high, and we'll just do the meat. Let's get the meat going, and then I'll decide based on our coldness whether or not we can actually afford to spend some time getting the other. Yeah, our warmth is okay. Let's take the hide, too. We've got time for it, and so I might as well get it all taken care of so that we're not leaving anything to waste. We may have to repair our little vest thing that we've created. It says that it's a wolf hide cloak, but I think of it more as kind of like a at the club shirtless with just a vest over the top type deal. And then I also used it to line my fuzzy boots because I got my apple bottom jeans and the boots with the fur, the whole dog. It was looking at my gun. I shot his face and then he died. Doggy got low. That's what you get. How dare you try and run up on me like that? You don't know me, doggy. You don't know me. You ever notice how it's the first thing everybody says? Like, whenever somebody's, like, pushing each other and they're about to fight, there's always somebody who's like, you don't even know. You don't know me like that. You don't know me every single time. It's like the fallback thing that everybody says when they're about to throw hands. Almost to the point where it's so predictable that it's become funny to me now. I don't know. Things entertain me that don't normally entertain other human beings. At least not in their right minds. I've noticed little idiosyncrasies and, like, common things everybody falls back on. Like when you're fighting with your girlfriend, every sentence begins with like, is that why? Oh, so is that why? Blah, 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 blah. Like when you're refuting, you're always like, oh, so is that why? Like there's always like some like overarching power struggle between the two parties to try and show that the other person is a bigger hypocrite. Not in my current relationship. My current relationship is the shit. I'm trying to keep it running as long as possible. This is the first relationship that I've ever been in my entire life that I haven't hated. Like most relationships, it's kind of like you put up with them for the perks. That's what it always was for me anyways. I'm like, I don't really like you that much. I mean, you're all right in small doses. But, you know, that thing that we do in the bedroom is pretty sweet. So I guess I'll keep you around for a while. Just because I have an addictive personality like that. But actually, this relationship's pretty sweet. So it's pretty awesome. I finally found a human being who's tolerable and that I can spend, like, all day, every day around without, like, wanting to strangle them. Like, you ever have that in your relationship where you're just, like, watching them while they sleep and you're just like, it'd be so easy right now. Just all over. Done. Finished. Revenge is mine. For me, it mostly happens when they're snoring. I hate that shit. Hate it so much. Women snore. They try to pretend like they don't, but they totally do. They snore just as loud as we do. I sleep on my stomach, so I don't snore. People try to say I snore, but I've never heard myself snore, so I don't believe it. Until they provide me with concrete proof, i.e. me seeing myself. You better not. You know how many wolves I've killed today, man? I'm going ham mode on your people right now. Like my gun, I'm putting notches. I'm putting notches on the fuselage today. The fuselage, the fuse-a-little, I don't know. I'm gonna take this meat real fast, because if there's one thing Splattercat's pretty good at, it's taking some meat. Oh wait, it takes longer with the hatchet? Fuck. I've been doing it backwards the whole time. Why have I been doing it backwards the whole time? Why did I think that meat was chopping? Huh. I don't know if I'm psyching myself out or if I'm just like second guessing. I don't know. I don't care anymore. I can fix my knife. I've got plenty of scrap metal and I can get fir wood very easily. I think I was going this direction. Yeah, I see a bridge. Why have I been chopping meat with a hatchet then? I would swear to God it was faster to chop meat with a hatchet. And then it was faster to get the hides with the knife. Huh. I feel like my world's falling apart right now. I don't even know what to think about anything anymore. I've got to kill something just so I can verify this. The things that I've believed for so long inside the context of the game, I just noticed that I might be wrong. You guys have probably been shouting it at me in the comments forever, but there's always spoilers in the comments, and it upsets me. And so somebody ruined the ending of, I think it was Dragonfall. Shadowrun Dragonfall, somebody ruined the ending on like the 9th episode for me. And ever since then, anytime I do anything, it's very difficult for me to read comments because somebody's always trying to ruin my day and spoil stuff for me. I don't know what this dickish undercurrent, sycophant, nasty, psychopathic tendency, sadist bullshit is that goes on the internet. But I think most people have just never been punched in the head enough times to realize you can't get away with that shit. Either that or they have been punched in the head enough times. Why am I out of lantern fuel? Did I harvest with my lantern out? I think I harvested with my lantern out. It's okay because I brought a little bit of extra fuel with me. Just in case. Just in case. This place is nicer. I feel better about this place than I do the previous locations. What the hell is that chiming noise? Did you guys hear that? It was like creepy horror music chimes. It was like bing, bong, bong. I heard it. I think I'm making shit up in my head now. I don't like this. Let's get the pot belly rocking. I've already got a 100% chance. I mean, do we really need to? I've got an 86% chance with reclaimed wood. So I'm going to go with that because I'm a gambler like that. It's going to take us a bit, and I need some food because we're starving to death right now. And our personal quality, which is judged by that little integer at the bottom of the screen, little percentile right there. I guess a percentile can't be an integer, can it? Because an integer is a whole number. So only 100% would be an integer because that's 1.0. Whereas everything below that would just be like a float or something. I don't know. Doesn't matter. It's been a long time since math class for me. I probably should have sorted this stuff out a little better. Yeah, there's something weirdly musical going on and it's freaking me out. It's freaking me out, man. It's freaking me out. We're gonna need a lot of fire today. Like, the fire is gonna have to rage large. So let's go all in with the reclaimed firewood. And probably I'll just start out with all the sticks just to get them out of our inventory here. We're probably spending the night at this location just because I need to cook. And I need to make sure we need to cook, Jesse. So anyways. I've heard a lot of people say that Breaking Bad is like the CrossFit of television. I don't support that. Breaking Bad is legitimately awesome. And everybody needs to know about it. I don't talk about it all the time, but if somebody brings up Breaking Bad, I'd be like, yeah, you should probably like watch that series. It's pretty goddamn good. As far as, you know, television goes, it's one of the few television shows in my entire life that I've ever followed all the way through. There's Breaking Bad, and there's The Office. And that's pretty much the only two series that I've watched from the first episode all the way till the end. I can probably find a few others, but those were kind of watched after I got into, like, I've watched Community from the front to the back, but that was after somebody coerced me. Somebody coerced me into watching it, and then I gradually started to like it as time went along. I really don't want to burn my coal. It seems like a shitty plan. Simultaneously, though, we've got a lot of cooking to get done. We're going to be doing this late into the night, I can tell already. And we're going to get dehydrated, so I need to, like, boil off some water, too. If we get ourselves a decent supply of water, I think I could finally be happy. Never mind a lifetime spent trying to derive the true meaning in all this. It's the water that I recently boiled in a video game potbelly stove that's going to make me feel better. Who knew that the long journey would come to its end here? Take that, random philosophers. All you random gurus sitting on mountaintops right now meditating on the meeting. I found it. I found it, and it only took me 3 years of YouTubing. Huzzah for me. Huzzah for me. Not Kazaa for me. That's like a spyware dump. Is Kazaa even a thing anymore? Does anybody even use that? I remember Kazaa was the shit back in the day for music and also porn. It was pretty legit back when like it first came out in like 2001. It was a revelation. People were like, wow, this is pretty awesome. Then everybody's like, oh, you should use LimeWire instead. And so then we used we didn't have anything better back then. Torrents were not a thing yet. And if they were, I didn't know about them. And I was pretty computer savvy back in like 01, 02. I mean, as much as like a 15-year-old kid could be. I mean, never underestimate the power of a 15-year-old kid to get to porn. It's an overbearing desire. He's going to get there either way. You may as well just like, I don't know, Scotch guard the keyboard or something. Just let it go. Don't even think about it. It's like, well, it's going to happen either way. We can get on board or we can get run over. I might only have time to do like 5 right now. If I can do more, that would be okay. But I mean, 5 liters will hold us for another 2 to 3 days without me having to worry about it. I would love to boil off more than that. But realistically, it just may not go down. There was also, I think we had Give me a match out right now. There we go. Perfect. And then after LimeWire, I moved over to torrents. And that was probably around 04, 05 when I found the mystical joy of just torrenting everything on Earth. To be fair, I don't do it anymore. I haven't torrented anything in probably 5 or 6 years, actually. I used to rip games all the time and stuff like that. I'll admit to it. I have a, you know, being broke and in high school or whatever. Yeah, it's easy. Although I spent most of my time getting, like, to be fair, I normally didn't torrent full games or anything like that. I used torrents to get, like, big packs of, like, random ROMs and things of that nature. I went through, like, a ROM phase that was extended. My ROM collection was incredible. I don't know whatever happened to it. It may still be sitting on my mom's computer in her den. I don't know. I don't know if they've ever restored that thing since I moved out. They still have, like, they have... God. They have so many... Like, it's seriously like a museum of computation at my parents' house. It's crazy. Like, seriously, it's super-de-duper-de crazy. I'm gonna drop all this stuff over here. And so anyways, they've got a computer over there with a Pentium 1 in it. They got an Apple IIe. They got a Dell that I think is still running a Pentium 4. They've got a Compaq over there that's running Windows ME, where if you ever want to do a study and show people what the shittiest OS ever invented was, feel free to swing on by. I can show you the finer points and be like, welcome. Welcome to Windows ME, the worst thing to ever happen to computation. This was the operating system that I personally was stuck with for 4 to 5 years. It was a nightmare. Oh, there's another floor? Oh my god, I missed a... Well then. It just... There's more? Oh my god, this is like Christmas. There is storage space up here. Some lockers. I'm just gonna break out the lantern. Maybe I will camp over here. I do kind of like this. It's a newspaper. Can I activate the... Oh, we can go up the top? Oh, this is about to be the shit. Nothing up here but some scrap metal, but also a metal container that they've left. I was gonna bitch about people not taking care of their things, but you know, there's a whole bunch of stuff out on my back porch right now that I put there when I moved in. And then, oh, somebody's being a sniper up here. Somebody's trying to be a badass. He's like, yep, I'm gonna no-scope this noob, and then I'm gonna take his meat. I'm gonna chop it off his body and eat him because cannibalism! Didn't they add cannibalism to DayZ or something like that? I remember people shitting their pants over it. My thought was like, that's pretty awesome. I want to eat a human being right now. DayZ, the standalone, really hasn't shown enough progress for me to give a shit about it, though. It is not moving along. I haven't followed it much either, but if every now and again, like every couple months, I'll jump back on for like 45 minutes, and I'll just be like, yeah, I'm not really seeing what's different here. Is anything different, or are we still just kind of teetering along? Like, sure, the zombies are a little bit better. But all things considered, how many hours of darkness do we have now? We're pretty drained right now, so we should probably just sleep this thing off. I'm going a full 10 because YOLO! That's how the kids say it, right? That's how you do it the cool way, right, kids? Oh, we got 11 hours of daylight left and a long walk in front of us. I kind of like this location. It doesn't have a workbench, though. It's so much more quaint and occupiable, though. I actually want to be here, whereas when I'm in the warehouse, I'm just worried I'm going to stub my toe on everything and then die from some horrible bacterial disease. I don't know what to say about it, other than that. We're pretty parched at the moment. Pretty parched, so I think it's a smart idea to drink some water. Our weight allotment is right along the edge of where it's allowed to be. I am going to use the remaining fuel in this. We only have 0.06 liters. It's like nothing. We have almost no fuel left, but it'll at least clean up our inventory a little bit. Let me turn this thing on. It looks like we already went through all the drawers. I didn't store anything in any of them, which is good. I've got all my pelts and stuff over here. I don't mind making a walk back to it. Yeah, I don't mind having a walk back to the pelts if we ever need it. I don't know. I'm of two minds. I kind of want to camp out here, but then part of me is just like, screw that. Let's go back to the warehouse. I think the warehouse provides us with a bit more space by comparison to the area we're currently in. It's less homey for sure. It's more of a utilitarian place, but you take what you gets, I guess. I'd like to search off in that direction. If there's a nice cabin or anything, that'd work as well. And then I don't mind hoofing it down and into here. The warehouse, the problem that I'm having with the warehouse is I'm going through just huge amounts of lantern fuel just because it's so goddamn dark in there all the time. I can't see anything. Even during daylight, it's just really, really dark in there. So unfortunately, I'm using up a lot of matches and a lot of lanterns. And while that's not a concern right now, it will be a concern later on. And you should never refuse to face a certain challenge just because it's not pertinent right now. Get it early. Get it done. Don't worry about it. Just fire that thing out right now and don't let it snowball, because it will snowball on you. I can virtually promise you that. Peckish at the moment. I'm going to eat some meat in front of the wolves who I so callously slaughter, for I am all that is survival man. Ah! Look upon me as I breathe out my mouth, talk loudly, swearing. Look upon my hairy chest. Flecks of meat in my beard. I don't have a beard right now. I don't like beards. I'm not a fan. Beards just make me look overly husky. I don't know what it is about beards, but the second I have a beard, I just become that short, fat guy. And I'm like, I think I look too much like a dwarf once I do it, and I love dwarves, but I have no desire to be one. I have no desire to be one. We should also look around for saplings. Saplings are going to be important, because I can't make arrows or anything else. We have that maple sapling that we've currently got curing, but I don't know whether that's for the bow or whether that's going to end up being for the arrows. So since I don't really have an idea, I'd love to get the bow and arrow created sometime soon. It seems like Mystery Lake is the best location to go for saplings. All the other zones don't appear to have very many saplings around anywhere. You can't really rely on them anyways. Cross the road over here and see what we got going on. I don't think I ever walked upriver right there just to check the mouth of the falls, but I don't know. I don't see anything. No bears, which is pretty awesome. I don't know what's up with those bulletproof bears, but God, put like 9 rounds into the suckers and they keep on moving. Although, if you're looking for efficiency, the bear is probably one of the best things you can hunt. He'll set you up with enough food to last you, like what? He drops about 38 kilograms and you can eat 3 kilograms a day. So, I mean, he's locking you in pretty close to 2 weeks worth of meat right there that you can eat almost exclusively to extend your score out. By the way, we got the 51-day achievement, so that's pretty sweet. I'm probably not going to keep the series going forever. We've kind of hit the point right now where I think people are getting a little bit bored of it. Seems like, in general, there's like a very dedicated viewership. But on top of that, I've had a number of people ask me lately why the channel's been so boring. And I'm thinking that since that's a kind of a weird phenomenon for me, I'm like, we may have to shake things up with some mini-series or something in the near future. I've already got ideas what I'm going to play. There's a couple games I've been watching that look very, very unique. I'm not going for things that are going to be like big viral releases or anything like that, but just little things that I can do like 6 episodes on and kind of get them out there so that people learn about them and know about them and are aware of these awesome games that are available from the indie genre. There's one coming from Japan, actually, in the next week or so. Japan hasn't really jumped on the indie game development scene, at least not on Steam or anything that I've noticed so far. There's a lot of random RPG Maker, like JRPG type stuff, but in general, you don't see a lot of Japanese developers in the indie scene. And so there's one coming right now that looks really, really badass. I'm excited to check it out. And so I'll let you know. You'll see it this week, basically. It's got, actually not this week. Yeah, this week, actually. By the time you see this episode, it'll be this week. So I've got to, like, forward date my mind. And we should have all kinds of new stuff happening over the next 2 weeks. I'm going to do a bunch of little, like, 5-7 episode standoff series on little games that I find to be fascinating. Kind of get us back into the cycle of being out there and playing new indie games. Because it looks like indie is starting to... It's very, very strange. I don't know why there's no indie games in the December season, because you would assume that's when people are going to be spending money on games, but every year in December there's no indie games coming out, and then right around January, February they start dropping like bop, 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 and you start getting tons of indie releases, and so I'm excited about it, and it looks like it's just starting in the middle of December. We're starting to get the front runners on a couple of different things that are looking really, really cool, very stylized and awesome that I'm excited about. Things are, for once, getting me excited. It's rare, it doesn't happen very often. I don't get excited about games anymore. Now that I work in gaming, it's very difficult to get excited about video games. Just because that's what I do with all of my time now. 12 hours a day. I'm like, oh, hey. What's going on, saplings? Got a birch sapling over here, so it doesn't matter whether it's maple or birch that we need. I think the maple's for the bow and the birch are for the arrows. I don't recall, though. I'm pretty sure the birch is for arrows. And so if we can get some shafts to go along with all those random arrowheads that I just spent time crafting, that'd be great, because that means we won't have to use quite so many bullets anymore. It gives us a backup plan for our series. But yeah, what I'll probably do with this series is I'll probably just do it like maybe once or twice a week. Kind of just drop it when I've got an extra little bit of time. Maybe as like a weekend series or something like that. Got a bear blocking our way over on that side, and given the way it went with bears previously, I don't feel super confident about our survival prospects. There's no buildings to run into around here. My strategy for bears is you go blap, you take them, and then you run into a house, and then you just sleep it off and wait for them to bleed out. That's seriously the easiest way to do it. If you're worried about bears getting you, that's how I'd handle it. Bears beats Battlestar Galactica. The Office is my favorite TV series of all time, because The Office was my life for a long time. Like when you're in your early 20s and you've got like that first job that might be a career, but you don't really want to dedicate to it because you're not sure it's what you want to do for the rest of your life, and you're like, I can go all in right now and I can focus on management and I can try and work my way up the chain, or I can have a good time, half-ass it, and not give a shit until they inevitably fire me, and then I can just go get another job because I'm like 23 and I don't care. I don't have kids. I don't have a family. It's all good. I don't have responsibilities. What are you talking about? Now I'm 30 and I have no responsibilities, and that's a little bit weird too. A lot more bills at 30 than I had at 20, though. Strangely enough, not a lot of bills at 20, a lot of bills at 30. Lots and lots and lots of bills. However, I do have a college degree to go with those bills, and I also have like a number of other things that go along with those bills, so I guess it's okay. This guy tried to ram the gate. They were like, oh my god, he's gonna ram it. Is there anything in here? Glove compartment? They call it the glove compartment, but who puts gloves in their glove compartment? I think I've seen one person in my entire life that kept gloves in their glove compartment. Other than that, it's just a space for you to put your license and registration and all that. Well, not your license. That should be in your wallet. Anyways, just all that. I can't. I want to. Don't make me go around, please. Can I? I'm going to do this. Walking the fence. All right. I knew my acrobatic skills would come around eventually and make this easier. Let's get back inside. God, I really cannot decide where I want to. I'll probably put, actually, I'm probably going to move all the stuff to one of these little. These are a tad crowded, and there's a lot of stuff in here. But moving to one of these trailers might be the better plan. I should also check all these buildings on the sides for sellers or anything like that. Or buyers. I do like to make a little money here and there. It's a tad brighter in here. It's not that much brighter. I was hoping they would have at least like one shelf that would be in the sunlight. This kind of works over here. Yeah, I'll probably move our stuff into here. It's still a little bit dark for my tastes, but it's bright enough. We can get away with it. So I'm going to ditch. Probably hungry, right? I was going to say, we probably have need right now. I'll probably start ditching our fire supply in here. I didn't see a fire barrel around anywhere, but the fire barrel is right inside the little warehouse area anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. I will more than likely start drying out some of these birch stalks right here. Oh, shit. And just start stacking stuff around so that it's available, you know, it's being worked on. Kind of step over it when I've got a chance. I won't be coming into this wing of our little living area very often anyways, so it'll do for right now. Keep the coal piled up, all up on the box. Gonna cover boxes with a ton of blackened rocks. You were like, what's he gonna rhyme it with? Is it anthracite or is it bituminous? Who knows? I guess anthracitic is the proper word. Is it anthracitic? Is it bituminous? There's another type too, I think. In fact, I'm almost positive there's another type that I'm not remembering. Oh, that's going to bother me. That's going to bother me a lot. Coal's a pretty sweet thing. Coal happens when you have anoxic water. So you tend to find coal seams in places that were prehistoric swamps. Prehistoric lakes that dried up and became stagnant. Then they became anoxic. And so all the random plant life and whatnot fell to the bottom. And then just like stayed down in there. You can also find it in peat bogs. Perfect example. Places where there's lots of peat tend to have it because those places used to be kind of soggy or continue to be kind of soggy. That's why the English, the entire UK Isle, used to be funded in almost entirely by salt, coal, and something else. Can't remember the third thing, but lots of salt mines and lots of coal mines and stuff over there, if I remember correctly. Obviously, somebody that lives over yonder, one of my cousins, will have to fill me in on it, because I am not astutely aware. But a lot of things have "witch" at the end of them in England, and honestly, in a lot of places in the UK, and that's because that is the Latin suffix for salt, and so anything that has "witch" on the end meant that it was a place where you could get salt from. And because they paid people in salt back then, kind of a valuable thing to have around, basically like a gold mine if you owned it. We are carrying a lot of shit right now, but I'm gonna make it work because she's a manly girl like that. Throw that weight on her shoulders, and then we just go for it. Wow, we are creeping. This would be a great place for me to stop the episode and just cheat you out of the experience of me walking super slowly across the map. I will see you all in the next episode. This is The Long Dark. It's been a blast having you here. I look forward to seeing you in future episodes. How you do, everybody?